Domino's has made it their goal to improve highways throughout the United States. The pizza business has said that it would pay for construction personnel to patch potholes in cities around the US. Domino's president, Russell Weiner, declared, "We don't want to lose any great tasting pizza to a pothole." Domino's is so dedicated to its customers and pizza, they couldn't stand the idea of a bouncing out of its box and knocking sauce and toppings to and fro. Domino's new mission statement is a welcome one, but the project only serves to underscore the dismissal status of funding for public services at a federal level. These kind of fixes are normally the purview of the government, who collects gas taxes and fees from drivers to fund the maintenance. But public building investment as a share of GDP in the United States has hit a multi-decade low, according to the Census Bureau. So states like Delaware are happy to have the pizza company step in and fill the gap, pun entirely intended. The fall in federal financing for public works in the states has coincided with deterioration of the roadways in recent years. According to Christina Swallow, president of American Society of Civil Engineers, Domino's pothole program highlights a disturbing reality that the American communities confront as government investment on municipal services decreases. The government's persistent underinvestment in infrastructure is to blame for the nation's poor road condition, which was not improved over the previous decade. The American Society of Civil Engineers reports that there is an $836 billion highway, bridge, and road capital requirements backlog in the United States. Because potholes have become so pervasive, the worrying trend is that businesses like Domino's feel forced to pick up the slack on this government obligation. It's easy to see why people are frustrated. In recent years, this pattern has spread to other publicly financed activities, such as healthcare, affordable housing, and fresh food availability, where it has traditionally lagged behind private funding. The problem is so pervasive that campaigns to help those who can't afford medical options or medicines have their own area on crowdsourcing sites like GoFundMe. Between 2010 and early 2016, the site helped collect $2 billion. And of that total, $930 million was used to fund healthcare-related initiatives. To help with California's burgeoning homelessness problem, Google's parent firm, Alphabet, is building low-cost housing to solve a problem that is usually dealt with by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. The technology company has invested hundreds of millions of dollars in equity in many affordable housing departments in California and the Midwest since 2008. More than 2.4 million low-income rental units in the United States have been financed in part or whole by low-income housing tax credits since the program's inception in 1986. At least $30 million of Alphabet's budget will go toward providing low-cost housing for 300 of its members. In recent years, several major businesses have also stepped up to the plate by giving surplus goods to local food banks. These efforts, along with Domino's, make one wonder what the government and businesses could be doing to make cities safer and more sustainable. Ultimately, the massive challenge must be addressed by the local and federal government, as Domino's efforts largely amount to a clever publicity stunt for the fast food brand. That being said, Domino's has dramatically increased their paving program, unwilling to let such viral advertising go to waste. It pledged to provide $5,000 to one city or town in every state that was nominated via its Paving for Pizza website. In some instances, city council members and officials nominated their own communities. In addition, some new recipients are named right there and then, including places as small as the Texas hamlet of Marion and as large as Milwaukee and New Orleans. Domino's has paid for enough asphalt to patch 3 roads and fill 8 potholes in Bartonville, Texas. It's a win-win. Communities receive free money for renovations, and Domino's gets some positive press. Domino's clever marketing strategy is not the only way it's generating millions of dollars for the company. Domino's Pizza, like many other delivery-based businesses, saw increased sales during the COVID pandemic, which had its stock price increase by almost 50% from before the outbreak. Although Domino's is well recognized as a restaurant chain, the corporate business only really owns 2% of its locations. The major earnings come from franchise royalties and sales of products and services obtained via the company's supply chain in the United States. Domino's is less of a restaurant chain and more of a supply chain operator and marketing organization, hence their brilliant promotion tactics like the Paving program. For investors, the franchise model efficiency in capital management and adaptability in responding to growth possibilities is a win-win. Franchisees can expect a cash-on-cash return on their investment in 3 years or less with Domino's, thanks to their streamlined operating model and national marketing campaigns. Through its growth, Domino's has consistently rewarded its investors. Since becoming public in 2004, the firm has consistently produced annual economic profits. Domino's expected economic profits in 2021 are $627 million, up from $151 million in 2011. However, Domino's capacity to carry out its operations, which rely primarily on delivery service, is being negatively impacted by the present labor crisis. As the business struggles to supply enough delivery capacity to satisfy demand, several shops have had to cut down on their hours of operation due to the shortage of delivery drivers. The corporation is increasing incentives for its digital channel and carry-out business as a means of dealing with these difficulties. Over the long run, Domino's delivery capabilities are a big competitive advantage for the brand, which will continue to drive greater growth despite present capacity restrictions. The unexpected shift towards road maintenance is most likely due to the positive attention it has received as of late. The ad firm CP+B, which prides itself on creating the most written about, talked about, and outrageously successful promotions in the world, was responsible for the campaign's conception and execution. Domino's may well continue to participate in its huge effort to show its social conscience, since there is a link between roads and pizza delivery. Of course, that doesn't mean the federal government doesn't need aid with its highways. 3/7 of America's main highways are in dismal or hardly adequate condition, according to the most current set of surveys conducted by the National Transportation Research Group. Damage to vehicles caused by driving on these roads cost American drivers $107 billion a year, or around $482 for each motorist. Domino's has only repaired a few hundred potholes throughout the 4 cities they've worked in, with the vast bulk of those repairs occurring in Athens, Georgia. They promise additional repairs and will even let customers suggest cities via their website. If you live on a particularly pockmarked street that might look good in the Domino advertisement, you might just want to write to them about that pothole in front of your house. What do you guys think about this? Is this Domino's paving program the beginning of a business-backed revolution in usurping government's traditional roles, or is this merely a wake-up call for Americans everywhere that political parties need to get their act together and rebuild the country? Let us know in the comment section below exactly what you think. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe on your way out, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.